Alright everybody, welcome to another video of my work in progress mod. I'm just calling it vanilla overkill. Kind of restarted these videos again. Maybe a couple of you may have saw some older ones, and some of them I'm bringing back up. Maybe bring some more later if you guys ever got a whiff of that. Most likely not. I had a couple people checking these out. This is kind of a new thing I'm just starting to do. Starting off this work in progress mod that likely a lot of people don't even know about. Of course, there's a couple people who know about at this point. So it's based off of a Vanilla++ mod by a fellow named Bonesy. He has a cool launcher, good for Diablo II Resurrected. You can put your mod in there. He might have it also where you can download mods from his server. I'm sorry, his launcher. I saw it on his D2R launcher. They had some other mods on there. Currently, I think the ones he has on there are ones that he made on the D2R land. He might have the ones on there later. It doesn't quite matter too much. As long as you have this set up and you download the mod and you put it in the mods folder, you can even update. I think it's based on the GitHub or whatever link that you can put on there with the details. I was going to make a video. I did one on the, weird name, Terrorizer. I did one in the last video. He just kind of, I gave him a new skill for the terror skill, the house skill, and instead of it running away, they just kind of so-called shiver, where they kind of have that Decrepify effect. And I've yet to test him, because he's only level 22, I've yet to test his Grimward. It kind of does something cool where it makes them lose their physical resistance that they did in Diablo II Resurrected. I think what I wanted to do now, I'm not sure, they kind of are very slow anyway when they run away. What I did was I just also gave them the Decrepify effect so they don't run away. I keep thinking that when it comes to the Barbarian, those guys that run away, that one hit wonder you put into Howl or the Grimward, it's just like the throwing bar were like that. They'll run away and they'll just attack their back with the throwing weapons they have. When they run away, it's like you have to chase after them. It's good for some cases, just putting 1 point in there. I mean, I even found taunt kind of useful. I also modified the taunt too in the game where it does physical damage reduction. I'm sorry, physical resistance reduction. So it only, so right now the moment only works on, I guess, only works on ordinary characters. The How now works on every character, even the bosses, so it's like Battle Cry anyways. Works on pretty much everything. As far as the Grimoire, it should work on those guys too in weird ways. It would get shivered, oh no. But yeah, next video is going to show off I'm calling this guy the Punisher. Now why is this guy called the Punisher? Well, I ended up converting, and that's kind of a weird way of saying it. I converted one of his skills, which was conversion, which was, I don't know, man, what do you guys think about that skill? A lot of you probably agree with me. This conversion skill was not very good. I mean, you couldn't use it on bosses because that doesn't make any sense. You couldn't use it on uniques or super uniques, doesn't make any sense. They converted a monster, and then has them fight for you for a while. It doesn't do much damage. You can't even hurt them. And then they'll just fight you again. And then you use that same skill, you just keep hitting things. It doesn't do much damage anyway. So I got rid of the whole damn skill and just put this thing as. And remember, you guys know Diablo 3, of course. The Crusader had a cool skill called Punish. Of course, it doesn't have lots of runes or modifiers or whatever, but it has a weird punish effect. And it's kind of like what that Barbarian had with the Hound now. So that punishment value is like a weird Decrepify. And fortunately, I can't seem to figure out. I may figure it out later, but when you attack the target with this punish, it shows the Decrepify, even does the sound. Unfortunately, when you hit him again, it's still Decrepified or punished or whatever, but the aura goes away. The look of it, the thing on top of it, the weird blue thing, goes away. And a little bit bizarre thing, I guess it works with whatever conversion was. Like right now it's 15 seconds, which is pretty good. That's kind of what it is. The more points you put into it, it just goes up a second. It just stays that way for 15 seconds, and then I guess it goes away, you have to hit him again, and there it goes, it comes back on. So it's not like a weird curse effect where you keep cursing it, it just stays on. You have to wait after 15 seconds. That might be okay, but if I can't do anything about it, where more seconds it just stays that way, and then it just loses it, and you have to hit him again. And then you see the Decrepify effect, it makes a sound too, which is useful to understand it. So yeah, that's kind of what I do with that. So this Paladin has, I mean, initially what, I don't think Bonesy did anything with Vanilla++ for certain masteries on this class. He did it for some other classes. I mean, currently I have this here. I'm eventually going to do something with this mod info. He kind of had some things here for, like, let's say the Amazon that were feats or whatever, or masteries for Vanilla++, but I'm kind of changing a lot of this stuff, so how am I going to do that? I'll figure something out with this. It's not Vanilla++, of course. I have to. That's why I'm going to have this release with all that stuff. Yeah, I have to change all that stuff. So I might just have to get rid of this entirely. The masteries are actually going to be described on the skill. Like here, you know, the neat thing about this Holy Shield, which I have maxed out, basically gives 1500 plus defense, which is kind of, I have to work on that, maybe too much. And attacker takes damage of 2000, and if you're a smiter, that's the thing about that. It's just, I might do something with that too. I might add that because help this out. See, it does that, you know, smite damage. I might add something there too, because some people like putting this for that. And what I did for smite, it couldn't really work for as passive to make the damage, if I can recall. So I just made it do something really neat there. So 300% damage at base level 20. So if you're a smiter and that's all you want to do, which there's people that like doing that. Yeah, whoa, you got a lot of damage there. So a lot of other ones like these skills have a passive effect. Like it's not 300 here, but it's 200, but it works for, I guess, everything. Kind of weird though, because you're just going to be using one of these. But that's the weird thing about this zeal and this sacrifice. They may kind of work hand in hand in some weird way, but then again, you just may be using one skill. But the sacrifice helps this skill out to get stronger. Here I gave 40% increase attack speed because, you know, zeal is like a weird skill that kind of you attack fast with. And sacrifice, yeah, 30% chance of crushing blow, and it's passive. So yeah, these two work hand in hand. You max them out. I guess, you know, for vengeance, yeah, weird thing about that vengeance skill, yeah, I remember playing as a younger person, playing Diablo II, and I guess some people thought Avengers were lame. Quite possibly because that mana cost kept going up. Like, if you get to level 20 on this thing, it would go to, I don't know, like 9 costs of mana. This thing was cool. It was always 2, hits multiple times, and you can always get your mana back when you mana steal. This thing hits only once, and it'll go to mana 9, and it's like you can't use it at all. So I just made it flat value too. And this punish is the same way. Another 2, and this, of course, this was the neat skill. This may be very useful in the future because we have some weird monsters that always keep taking away your mana. And never a problem with sacrifice. Once you max this out, they have it set up where it's like 2% damage to stuff. We have life steal, you're good. It's so weird though because I have this sacrifice which does physical damage, a nice crushing blow later. Where have those lots of? Oh, why is it doing so much damage? There's a lot of damage. I think that's just not what it is. Sorry. But yeah, this punishment value is though interesting. So it actually breaks the physical resistance. It negates it by what currently is 61. It does a weird value like critical strike. It has that where the higher up it is, the less it does. I kind of want to change. I kind of don't want to change it. I just read somewhere. I found somewhere out that the negative, the biggest negative value for these resistances is negative 100, from what I heard. You know, then again, you know, you go to a monster that has like in hell 50%, so it'll be, you know, 150 technically. So I'm just working with this. I'm just working out with this stuff. So when you get to level 20, you know, it just gives 200% damage. That's what I did right now. Like this cool one actually has 80% 50 to enemy elemental resistance, which works out. Yeah, I have another character I might show later called Burning Heart is his nickname. You guys saw that already. What he actually does, I made him Avenger. And you know, if you look at the synergies, the resist fire, cold, lightning, and salvation, I think what I might make that guy do, max this out, and yes, with the defensive auras, I could make all of them have a passive. This weird aura system. When you have these auras that go passive to active, they kind of ruin each other, but some of them actually still work. Like for salvation, yeah, when you max it out, when you use it, yeah, now you get all the resistances, but yeah, I decided to give it negative 75% to enemy elemental resistance. And these ones here, they have it with their respective respective element, but at double that. And for the moment, I kind of made it where, yeah, if you do max out passively, it gives you something, because these can do passive stuff. These other ones, unfortunately, I don't think I can find a way to do it. So they're all active, except for this one. I actually am next skill I'm going to plan on putting a point in here, because this one can go passively. Other skills, I couldn't seem to figure out what to do with them. Like these skills, I had the extra gold, and these seem like those kind of, you know, adventure type skills. even did it for this one here because I kind of think that when you run faster, it's kind of like what they had in Diablo 3. It was like an adventure thing. So not only do you run faster, but it should be kind of like when you get gold and magic find. These ones here, I gave them bonuses, but the same thing. This one here, I didn't give a darn about bonuses. That duration was good enough, so I just gave it a lot of gold and magic find. I guess we'll get started here. So right now I'm using Might. No one really uses that, right? They always use either concentration or fanaticism. I made this one kind of useful for what it's worth. It does crushing blow and does even more damage. This one was 60 at first. I decided to make that 80. Try to make it all skills useful. Not maybe try to balance in a way where they make them all kind of equal in a way. Like this one, neat one here. It was kind of good for the Blessed Hammer. And as far as ordinary attacks, there's that 100%. I have yet to test it though, because that has 20%, right? Well, if you max it out, you get that 100. So let's say you're a Zealer, you won't get hurt or interrupted. You won't get interrupted at all when you Zeal. And that faster cast rate, that's for the Blessed Hammer primarily. Not really for, the other ones. And yeah, 250% damage. And this one here, I know I have at 500% damage and crushing blow, so I have to work with that. And this one here, I'm really going to have to work with. You have to test this one out. That speed factor, I think that works kind of the way the critical strike and skills like it. I think the maximum is 40%. You may find a way to make it where it just goes around that anyway. It makes it an additional 20%. Plus, it gives you attack rating and damage. Of course, it gives it to the party too. So, I mean, these are just damage. Of course, this one just damage. This one was always known to have that attack rating and damage. I might add a speed factor too. Different from that attack speed that you see at that 14%. Just give it like 20. It works with the positive values. I can't seem to figure out a way to work with the negative values too, like with Punish. I tried to do it where it gives like a bonus negative 20% punishment value, but I can't seem to figure out how to do the negative values when it's that kind of setup like the critical strike, where the higher up it goes, the less it is. When it's negative, I tried to calculate that way, I just couldn't do it. Anyway, let's just beat up some stuff. So, yeah, this character here, let's see where I'm at. Yeah, I'm in Act 2. Yay, I did something. So, let's just beat up some stuff, I guess. So, I talked a lot. Let's see here. What am I doing? I think what am I going to Luca Lane for? I've been playing the Barbarian, so I have to kind of catch up with this guy. I think the reason why he's lagging so much, some people complain about it with DTR LAN. His computer, Bonesy, when I saw it, actually went quickly, so I think it's a matter of just the computer. Mine's kind of a slightly older PC. Some games that are modern today don't really play it, so I think if I have a better PC, it will load faster. I think that's just the factor of it. Hold on. What am I doing? Yeah, I'm going to see this. Yeah, far away is this. So I think, yeah, when you have a better PC, it can make it run faster. Like, it just kind of runs that way now. So some people have complained about it going too slow. So yeah, this weird thing. So right now I'm hitting them one hit. I think that, I know what I was going to do. Yeah, this is too easy. Let's try that. Do I even have anything? So these weird things, right? They have all that physical immunity or physical resistance that they usually physical immunity in hell. You don't have to worry about them anymore. Technically, that punish skill, you don't have to worry about anything generally. You're only hitting one target at a time. So as far as sacrifice, that's kind of the thing. Would this be better than sacrifice? Now I think sacrifice is so nice because you're not using any mana. When you get at a high enough level, you're not using any mana, and not doing much damage to yourself. And this is here for fun. So yeah, it does a passive here, but yeah, I did something neat here with that. It may be too ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. You get an extra bonus there, and of course when you decide to make it active, you make it have even more and make everyone have ignored targets defense. So this Blessed Aim kind of has that factor now. I did it with the Amazon too for Penetrate, where when you max it out, you get ignore targets defense and a little bit more for monsters you can't use that for. That's a negative 50% targets defense. That's what I did with that, with the Amazon. I'll show a video of that character later. I had a very good series of videos earlier, but that was on it was on the D2R launch. So I have only one Amazon that I'm playing right now. I don't even have her close to, showing off yet. She's only level 2. I'm sorry, level 10. So I have other characters that are higher. So I'll do that character later. I still got a lot to do to make this. I have only 4 classes that have to be finished in a way, but I have to test them. The other 3, I have to continue with. Dang, I know, it's so funny. It is always decrepifying this individual target you're hitting, wherever it is. It kind of works. Oh, yeah, that's it. So, a combination of the rogues intersight that I designed to do negative reduction 2 with this, making them really killable, easy to kill, at least in Nightmare. And they have that 50% resistance in most of them usually in Hell difficulty. These sand maggots, they usually can have pretty high physical resistance. I've seen that where, yeah, you can try to break it and yet it won't work. It'll be very high up there. So it is quite possible that it probably won't work with this rogue. It'll be pretty easy to kill these sand maggots. They usually have 66, I think. Yeah, but sometimes when they have a stone skin, it'll go up to 166. So I guess both together still doesn't work. Yeah, I've seen some mods that kind of work this area out. I'm kind of glad what mods they did here with this, making only 1 level. Trying to be a hammered in here is kind of a pain in the ass. Or a summoner, necromancer, or a druid. That is just one place. There have been some neat mods in the past that kind of made these places more bearable. Like they made them bigger somehow. I forgot what that mod was, but it was a good mod for Diablo 2 where they actually made these places actually you can have more room. It's not just one line of this stuff where you have to walk in one line. You know, like you want a mercenary attack, you have to do some trick like that just to get in the front, like it does the mercenary barbarian. Of course, I don't want that because that's my rogue. So it works out here for me right now. So is that? Oh no, I think it is kind of. It's just native 61. I think he has 50. Yeah, so I think these guys will go as high as 166, which is, I think technically still wouldn't work for this build. So I can't even kill that guy with the fire coming out, but it kills most other guys. So I guess that's okay. So I guess I'll do it till I finish Act 2. I kind of like to make short videos. And that's kind of what I'd rather do. I talk about it big time in the beginning, and then I show these, show it in action.
Blessings to you.
And then, I'll make another video. I made one video earlier for about an hour long, at least 30 minutes. Trying to make them too long. And, let's see, so I did that. We gotta go to back here. So yeah, I made this Punisher is like a decrepifier type thing, and yeah, the thing disappears over the head. I can't figure out how to fix that. But only it does tell you generally that it works when they're slow and the reductions on there. So yeah, and after the amount of seconds, it just goes away. You can't even redo it, and that may be okay too, I guess. I have to figure out what to do with this. So these guys are too weak. Can't really show what I'm talking about. It just goes away. I'm gonna run my. Let's see this guy. Yeah, it just goes away. Let's just get out of here. Yep, the rogue just been front of these guys. Yeah. These guys are. So, now I'll try to. Then again, I kind of made a long discussion earlier. I think I'll just wait. I'll finish it till I guess Arcade Sanctuary. I guess. Then again, I don't know, man. These cheat modes that we have here with this the Bonesy has, it's kind of easy to finish all 3 quests, or rather up to whatever. Oh, nice. My mod is kind of easy to get those runes now. When you get a very good item, like a elite item, you can actually turn it into a Sir rune. It's easier to get stuff in this game now. It's just a matter of just getting enough money or enough whatever to you farm to get the stuff. Kind of made that like a trick that where it's just straightforward you can get the stuff. I'm not sure a lot of people may like that, or some people may like that, but yeah, I just kind of made it where it's generally easier to get the stuff. It's still hard. I mean, like I want to get something. Gambling is kind of easy to get stuff too, but every now and then I find myself having a hard time getting it that way too. And yeah, the bosses actually drop pretty good stuff. All the bosses. I kind of designed it down the mid road where they could drop charms too, like the Sunder charms. And I made it a less penalty for the Sunders. Because I didn't want to make it too much of a big deal. And when you play Diablo II Resurrected, you get those Sunders at the end of the game. So basically, you beat a game or a character with a character, you save the Sunders and you give it to somebody else. Once they're 75, they use it. So this game may be kind of easy in some way at the moment. At least for the first two difficulties. I could do some things with this. I'm trying to make it where at least we'll figure out what to do with this. So I don't want to make it too easy of a game. It's just getting the stuff maybe easy, whatever you're trying to get, and somewhat challenging still. I mean, yeah, once you get, like it is no doubt with Remodded, once you get a character to level 20 on a skill, it's kind of like it goes too quickly. But then you go through the game and it just gets hard again. So whenever you get a character, let's say 5 masteries, it should be kind of easy. But that girl, run! Oh, she got hurt. So, you know, in normal it's easy once you hit that first 20, and you get at least 3. I think I have about 3 feats here, 3 masteries. In Hell, you have pretty much 4, and yeah, it takes a while to get to that 5th one. You have to be like level 90 something to get that. Maybe high 80s, but it really depends on where you have your skills. Some of these skills you have to put, like for Whirlwind, you have to put it within all the other skills, like you know, the leap attacks, all the other one-handed attacks like bash and stun, just to get Whirlwind. That kind of plays a factor in what you're trying to get. What Bonesy did was kind of neat. I think it's kind of a forced thing in many ways. You can go above 100 now, or 99 rather. We could change that too, but I think we made that kind of a standard thing. So that's kind of neat too, kind of easier to I didn't talk to the guy. Kind of neat thing too here, where you can, you know, we get to, let's say 102, you have rather 3 extra points now to help you to get that 5th mastery. So yeah, that kind of thing was in Bonesy for his mod. It was in this mod too, not this mod, but the one I'm based on, with plus. And in some of the skills, it wasn't in the description or anything, it was in the mod info. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to give it all the skills. Wasn't really sure I was going to make it a public thing or whatever for people to play now, but I guess why not? You know, I was making it for myself, that's kind of why most of it must have sucked. Now I kind of want to make it good now, I guess. I thought I was going to be stressed out with it, but I guess I'm not stressed out. I worked on other mods in the past where it was for people, but I wasn't the project lead. So it really wasn't on my shoulders, but I was still working on it for people. But it was on my shoulders. This, I guess, technically it's on my shoulders. At least, and it's not a team-based thing that I'm working on now, it's just me, I guess. But yeah, like you know, a buddy of mine was saying on the server, Bonesy server, I guess, yeah, once I release this, there's going to be people complaining about it. Bugs and shit. That makes sense. Lots of bugs. You never know what you're going to find, eh? It's a fun thing about the world of modding. So I have that. Oh, skeleton. Buddy. Okay, so I'm just going to double check my mastery thing. So I got that. Got that. Oh, I can't even think. Okay, so I got that. Oh yeah, this crazy thing. I'm not sure I really want that yet. Then again, I think what I was going to do was this, that, and even that, just for the defense. Can't think of anything else to have a mastery for. It won't do mastery once you develop that as level 20. It's just all active. I couldn't even make it passive. At least I could. If you guys are modders and if you've seen this and you figured it out, I mean, if you're to tell me, I couldn't turn this, having this a passive. It was just these skills that already have a passive. I mean, this one too, right? It kind of worked for this one too somehow. So I couldn't figure out what to do with these guys. So yeah, I'm just going to max this guy out just to give this guy more defense. As far as the arrows, it was going to be this really neat thing. I've done other changes too, like Sanctuary. I was wanting to do this one. Yeah, it's going to be much different. Didn't have the knockback or that knockback I found pretty annoying. And yeah, the trick with this one is it was going to work for the rogue and other characters too that were your allies. I had to test it though. And once you get it to level 20, it also affects demons, and it even bypass, I assume, the resistances or immunities and such. It just didn't work on the regular monsters like these guys, right? It worked on the undead and demons, and of course you have lots of all the bosses are demons. You know, a lot of monsters are demons. Of course, undead too, and very, I guess, a good handful of maybe are. So that's the only negative part. So I tried making it where it bypassed beasts too, but unfortunately, what I saw in the on the text files for the mod, basically we kind of lost a few of the passive states, so I had to limit it down. But that's fine. You used to have 10 states, that you 10 stats you can work with. Now they went to 6. So, you know, whatever. So I think by that by itself, what you had to get something to make it work, I guess. The bypass in some weird way.
I've been
Let's see here. So I just sell some stuff. Make that thing there. Yes. This might be a longer video than I thought it was going to be. Gonna make this cool thing. Make that neat thing. Let's just clear some clutter. Make that, and all these bags, of course, are from Vanilla++. Really cool stuff. Most of the stuff was, I'm trying to recall, I think they had some things with masteries. This was most of the big stuff right here. Plus, getting stuff easier in many ways, and certain things like those Stygian dolls in Act 5 don't blow up in your face anymore. I kind of like that. I kind of like that too. And also those burning souls not being a pain in the ass.
When the troubles
Not gonna lie, I kind of agree. Those things were really strong. Oh, maybe not. What the heck? Okay, I thought the rope blocked me somehow. So this could be a very long video. I'll make timestamps, of course. So obviously this is right there. So, you know, what, a long time. Start skid, whatever. So I think, did I put a point anywhere? No, I didn't. Yeah. So, that order is somehow. So yeah, see, 61 to 62. It does that weird thing. The critical strikes. The higher up it goes, the less it does. I'm not sure I'm gonna do it that way. I'm gonna call it Conviction. I don't think Conviction did that. I think Conviction had like a one static amount that goes up, not one that just keeps going down. I think that's what Conviction was. It would go up like 5 every level of the reduction. It goes. I think it had a max too. That's the other thing. Like 135 negative to elemental resistance. I think that was the deal with Conviction of that. If I recall that with this skill. I think the defense was the only thing that was a bit much like this punch skill. Like it'll have some weird calculation too that it does, if I recall. I don't remember. I have to really mess around with it right away to remember what I knew about Conviction. I forget a lot of things. The rogue's like, I'm stuck. Actually, no, that's right there. We just have to deal with it. We all know that. He's not very smart. Don't sin, I guess. Yeah. So you get those physical immunes. The weird thing about the Sunders, I guess it works too for the physical immunes. I meant to some monsters that actually would be, their immunity would go, the resistance
is the product of a twisted mind.
The resistance would go down, but the immunity would not break on the physical immunity. I found a couple monsters that actually had some burning souls that were like that. They seem to be pretty rare. So I didn't even put a Sunder on this. So, there it goes. Nope. So these skills, the Holy Fire, the Holy Freeze, and the Holy Shock, I put not only the negative to enemy lightning or whatever resistance, but I give it a Sunder. So these Sunders, you know, depending on what it is. Barbarian doesn't have any Sunders in their skills because they do lots of damage types now. But yeah, I put a Sunder factor on. That's like they're not too big of a deal now, but if you need a Sunder, yeah, it's less of a penalty and easier to get now. Not crazy or ridiculous to much. As far as making this challenging, I gotta figure something out. More challenging. It is still kind of hard in hell right now. Yeah, the Sunder thing, I didn't give it the physical, but the weird thing I found out from this game right now in Bonesy's mod, it seems like some of these monsters still get the, like the Sunder doesn't work on them. It could be a trick with the HUD or something, but if you had magic resistance along with the enchantment, it wouldn't work. Like I went by that Bone Ash in just Nightmare, I think, and the cold, I had the cold reduction and Sunder, and somehow it didn't work. I think when I looked into it, it had to do with both being a magic resistance and having a core enchantment. And it also applied to just normal uniques. I'll have that. If they didn't have that, it would do that, whatever the, let's see there, they would do this 99 thing with it. But, oops, my bad. This is what I'm trying to do. So it did that. It will save the immunity, but it'll have that 99. And it'll do damage to it. But for some reason, it had too much. I guess there's a calculation to it in some way. People were talking about it recently when I was on his Discord. So I guess I'll have to look at that again. Maybe you have to have a much higher or some higher stutter rate or something like that. Kind of weird to find out that you have to have 2 of these charms somewhere, because I made the value. There's such a weird value, the same as the charms. So do you need 2 of these charms? Is that what that is? 600 rather than 300? Because it's a weird 300 value to make these Sunders, I guess. As an actual value, not just 1 or some Boolean thing like that. Oh, she's actually following me. Darn, she's doing good. First. Oh, she's under her. Yeah. So, I guess it tells you they're getting cursed. Yep. And just disappears, but you still see that negative 32. And when it starts speeding up again, then it tells you that you have to start over. Yeah. So maybe next video of this guy, I might show him in the hell difficulty. I was saying earlier I was going to show the Punisher, because he has the Punish skill now. Nothing like the one in Diablo 3, but hits 1 target at a time, kind of like in Diablo 3, and it negates the one that's getting punished. Getting punished, yes. Okay, so I wish I did have Enigma, or something like that, teleporting. Yeah, thankfully I'm not getting frozen because I have Dario Shell. It's like one of my favorite armors. That darn thing just works. Even if you wanted to upgrade it using it. Oh. Yeah. Very useful thing. They gave it to her too. No, I gave her that.
Rest in peace, tortured soul.
Yeah, poor guy. So yeah, I think with some weird cases, they have to do something about it. I don't know. Some of these monsters, they have to be kind of like the unique or the super unique type. They just don't get that weird, that Sunder effect. Let's just show that. And that. Okay. Alright. Go back, as of course it's the same place all the time. Always the same monsters. Oh, this is hard. I saw lots of them now. Yeah. I was also trying to do a build other than Might, which was the Holy Freeze, or see how they're getting all frozen. I guess the Rogue helps out more with that. Oh, she's so you get that Decrepify wrong with that cold, makes it really slow. So, I technically could have maybe used Holy Freeze, but right now I'm just doing Might. You see that crushing blow along with that big damage. Whoa. That actually is quite a lot. That's because I kind of have some end game gear anyway. Like I'm going to upgrade these 2 things, right? This thing I'll replace later, and this guy's it's all kind of end gear almost, except that maybe. That one for sure. Yeah, I basically got an Ohm rune in there because it's when you get a very elite item, they're not always that easy to get. Maybe not even when you're maybe except when you're beating like Bale or Diablo or Dario in Hell, you might see a elite item. You break it down to what I made currently into a server. Yeah, what they did here, of course, in Vanilla Plus Plus is a kind of like a value system. So you pick it up based on the value it is. Oop, that was one hit. I want to cover that. So yeah, I want to take on Dario. I even took the shell at Dario, so we're gonna go. Let's put the shell in. Yeah, she's getting hurt. Yeah, so I'm not sure she's going to be able to freeze him, if I recall that. I know Bale couldn't be frozen. No, he couldn't get frozen by the Holy Freeze. I think by attacking him, he gets frozen a little bit. So let's see what Dario. I think he might get frozen at all because he likes to freeze people. Ooh, interesting. So we'll see too. It shows that these guys really drop a lot of stuff. Now, they also kind of made it where they immediately drop those charms, those grand charms. That could be a Sunder or a rare charm. And I think in some rare cases that L6 equalizer. That's the Vanilla Plus Plus. Yeah, so basically, yeah, you fail at normal, that's when they start dropping. And you can start using it at level 50. Sunder charms. They have a very. They kind of have a lower penalty. They all have a penalty, but they're not as bad. I don't know. That's just by the way. Alright. I also like what Bonesy did here to the mod where he's doing the Decrepify thing. Press a button and there you go. I'm gonna break that down anyway. That's the thing. I kind of made it where you can gamble that stuff, so if you don't really want to have a lot of stuff in your inventory, there you go. But maybe you need that inventory or whatever. Sometimes. This is what you want to do with it. Let's see what we do with this guy. So, there you can. Oh, I'm frozen now. So, yep, he's very slow now. Oh, no, he's taking the wrong target. Hit me. Oh, get away from my girlfriend. Hit me. Yeah, I think he's hitting me now. Good. Oh, very slow. Very slow. So that's weird. So I think technically he is slow, even though that Decrepify thing isn't on him. Yeah, the negative 62 is very slow. And that's that weird thing that has to reset after 15 seconds. That was, yeah, see, that was one of the charms, for example. Yeah, but a lot of these items, as you see there, they're not all exceptional items. They're still unique items. But yeah, you keep messing around with this guy more, you might get more like we looked out there when it wasn't Dario. So yeah, there it is. Oh, so that I kind of made that 50, I guess, the highest. That's the highest you can do. I think the day before was like 90. So yeah, we get 50, it kind of sucks. So lowest is 25 now. So actually, we kind of got the crappiest, but still better than usual. Poison Sunder thing. So yeah, we kind of. So yeah, that's how you do it. So there's also the terror zones in Hell. I'm pretty So they still drop them. I
shall honor Tal Rasha's sacrifice by destroying all the prime evils.
So I kind of make it a big deal. And as well as Thunder Charms, you can't break them down either. The way how I do it with this system, where you can break these things down and make runes. So we just having it sucks just to sell it. It was kind of a weird thing in Diablo II Resurrected where you can get a lot of these at the end of the game and just save them. And at level 75, here is 50, right? So it's not the biggest deal to these things. So they're just cool to have. Of course, they sunder the thing. They don't even do the negative thing. Yeah, mine is kind of more accessible to get what you need. Like you want the negative and plus the sunder. You max these out, but let's say you want 2 sunders for some reason. You want 1 sunder, then you get the sunder. There's a lot of sunders in this game now that are based off of level 20 mastery things. Oh, wow.
Hello. You have
For some reason now the names aren't there. Interesting. Yeah, it keeps doing weird stuff like that. I'm just talking to everybody. But that's kind of all it is I wanted to show right now. So yeah, the Punisher. He's the Punisher. Like we have our Avengers, the Zealots. I guess the technically, I guess a weird way it normally is anyway. Usually the Sacrificer. I don't know. That doesn't sound very good to be a paladin. We call it a Sacrificer. More like taking the ultimate sacrifice thing. I guess who knows? Being a paladin or something like that. You know, Zealot makes sense. Avenger makes sense. I guess Punisher now. Because that conversion skill is kind of stupid. I don't know what you guys think. Feel free to say what you want about that conversion. I think it was dumb. I thought it was very stupid. I tried to do something for that initially. Okay, that hurt. So I tried to do something with this before, giving it like a higher conversion factor, and I thought over it like this conversion was just stupid. You know, everyone liked that. They're now making it in Resurrected to make that and that useful. You know, you can destroy demons with this thing now. It still sucked against normal monsters, especially in Act 3. Like in the Kuras areas. It's just that lightning thing. Now you need a Sunder too in case you reach a lightning immune. Anyway, so my game is trying to make it where it's not ridiculous in some ways. That's it. So I think the next video, we'll see what I do with it. Could be this one. I think I showed some videos earlier. I kind of brought them back of the Frostbite, I call her. So, you know, she has a Sunder. Basically, it's just the Cold Mastery. Yeah, so you need that Sunder too, just to make that negative resistance thing work on the character, on the sorceress, for this game. So you have that negative resistance. Sure, it does the damage when it gets immune. So you have to have that some kind of Sunder, whether it's whatever. So I guess technically she could do whatever she wants to do. It's kind of stupid not to. You can put it as a one-hit wonder. So, you know, whatever. You can just do whatever you like with the character. Anyway, so I might make that the next video again. I was talking about that before again. Like Amazon I worked on. Called her Coco because she does cold attack. She's cool. Literally. But she's only level 10 right now. So, yeah, I may make one for Frostbite again. Start another video with that. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Take care, bye.